Share this broadcast on Twitter. No. Muted. Yes. Okay, guys. Boom. This is the show. It's called Euclid and Oaks. It used to be called Morning Coffee, but I realized I don't do mornings, so it's now just called Euclid and Oaks. Today is supposed to be a Futurist recap show, but I'm having some extremely crazy technical difficulties with Hangouts. I think I created 2 separate Hangouts, and it's all fucked up. But anyway, I've got a couple guests here. We have Wendyo. We have Ken Bosak. We're going to try to get the other guests on the show today, hopefully. I'm still working on that in the background, so we'll see if we can pull this thing off. Anyway, I want to say, guys, we're here. We're on the show. So how are you guys doing?
I'm having a day, man.
Thanks for having me on. I love being on with you guys.
Hey! Yeah, we're glad you guys can make it. Everyone else is probably in another Hangouts, talking amongst themselves, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I could continue trying to solve this problem while we're live on the air, but that's the thing about doing live shows with like groups of people. Sometimes shit happens, and the fact that us 3 are here, John Dunsmoor.
There's more than 3 of us.
Is for
Can you math?
John Dunsmoor is also here, but he's in the DM saying that he can't hear shit, and isn't he supposed to hear shit? And that.
Lawrence is here somewhere, isn't he?
No, I don't think
He's probably mute. He's probably muted. He probably has himself muted because Hangouts can be crazy.
I think I saw him pop up for a second, and then he just ran. I think he ran.
Okay, I think he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured it out.
Yay!
Yes!
There he is.
It's the unmute button.
Yay! There's John Dunsmoor.
No, Brave was blocking it. I was like, shout out
cool.
Brave.
Okay.
I think. Am I wearing a Brave shirt? I'm wearing a Brave shirt.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Tamara's wearing a Brave shirt. Okay, so we have John Dunsmoor. Neko says it says it keeps bringing me to Hangouts, but nothing pops up. Not sure if it's just me.
It's probably just him.
It's just you, Neko. Damn it.
Well, who else is having post-conference blues?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Okay. What's John Dunsmoor doing?
I don't know. What are you doing, John? Who is moving right now and has a moving truck backing up?
I thought it was someone's fire alarm going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely my fire alarm going off.
Oh,
It's been haunting.
I was right.
Why?
It's in the refrigerator.
Oh shit!
Shut up.
Why do you have a fire alarm going off in the refrigerator?
I can't answer that right now.
I love that. This should be a whole nother
I
segment.
totally plead the fifth.
I know. Name. Yeah, plead the fifth. Like, yeah, we need to dive into that in a second. But I love that. It's a new game. Name that sound. I just want it, so I'm champion.
All right, I'm not giving up on trying to get the other guests coordinated. So you guys like do a show while I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Ken, you want to run this thing, or Wendyo,
Yeah,
you want
Ken,
to go?
take it. Oh wait, if
Sure.
I
I'm
do.
gonna.
All right, let's do a quick recap. Okay, here's fucking. Here's the show. Here's the thing. Here we go.
Yeah, you got.
Ken with the fucking fire alarm. Yes, we're live,
Are we
sir.
live?
Yeah, we're totally live.
Yeah,
Totally didn't know that.
yeah. Can you please take the batteries out of that thing?
That's
All
Ken.
right, hold on.
Like seriously, man.
What is that?
My
That was
OCD is
Ken's
about
fire
to.
alarm.
This is good. It's all backstage stuff.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
exactly what
Super
happens
Good.
at
Yeah.
the conference.
That's
This
right.
is it right here. Well, there's usually someone saying I'm hungry. That on this one it was Cupcake. Crypto Cupcake was like, when do we get to eat, you guys? Because we were so busy, we never got to eat. It was just usually hot dogs at the end of the day at the hot dog stands, right?
Mhm.
The food trucks were so good.
Yeah, they were good. And it was the only thing.
Like
Go, Wendyo.
Go, Wendy.
And that
We're losing you, Wendyo.
they did
Would
have
you?
it throughout the conference.
Yeah,
They did what?
they had food.
The food was really good there.
Hey,
Yeah,
when,
it was. They did have good food there at the
Ken-
conference.
Oh wait, Ken's taking.
Sorry.
Sorry, I fixed the fire alarm.
Yay.
It's really good for these conferences.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
to eat.
You're
But
robotic.
then I literally. Oh my god. No. You
we,
guys hear me?
we hear
No,
tiny pieces
it's
of you.
not
Wendy,
good.
Okay.
are you on your tin can phone
So
again?
I go to I get
This bear market service.
Hey, Ken, retweet
Oh my God.
the live show. Let's try to get some viewers here.
It was us in Toronto. Like
Can
we
you?
didn't have cell phone service unless we were
On it.
somewhere.
Thank you, sir. Now, who are we missing? Let's see. Digital Lawrence said he can't make it. Messiah may or may not come. Nye and
I
Neko.
say you throw Coco a link.
Yeah, 222. Let me do that. If it'll work. I'm on there.
He might be in the other hangout.
I
with-
could just literally post a fucking link on Twitter and just whoever shows up.
Oh,
You know, like
yeah.
a random.
If you were
Yeah.
at the Futurist conference,
Yeah.
could you?
All right.
What were
Well,
you from?
I'm going to quit trying to do this. Tamara, you can do it. I'm going to do
What?
the show.
Okay, you
Try
do
to
the
get
show.
people to come on that.
For sure.
All right, guys. What? I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
guys want to talk about?
Can I start with I still didn't get a selfie with Wendy, even though I acknowledged the fact that we never get selfies.
What? Really? Is she
Yeah.
is she purposely snubbing you, Wendyo?
I don't know.
Or-
I went to tag her the other day from the conference, and I was like, "Oh shit! I don't have a picture to take. Like, took it with her to tag her."
Oh no, we have tons of Wendyo selfies. We could Photoshop you in if you want.
Oh, please Photoshop me in.
Very good.
Yeah, that was your first DDP though, right, guys?
It
Like,
was.
totally did
Yeah.
that thing.
That was actually, I think, one of my, top lifetime experiences. I'm not gonna lie. You laughed, John Dunsmoor, because you did not make it. You did not make it to the DD.
Oh, yeah, the
I know.
DDP.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a competitive party, the polymath party, I believe,
Uh-oh.
and the DDP.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we the
did miss
DDP, let me like focus on doing a show now instead
Yeah.
of getting distracted cuz like let's do this thing. Yeah, the DDP, I was telling everybody that I actually ever have run across that the DDP was probably the most interesting, exciting thing I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
Like that was almost life-changing for me. That was extremely fun.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah.
You have a tweet or something? Because they
Yeah.
strapped
I
a
have,
speaker
I
onto
have
your back.
tons of pictures of Yuki. He looked like the bad time Ghostbuster. Like if you were bummed out, he was gonna show up and
Yeah.
just make you dance.
Let me try
know.
to find it.
Make
Here we
me
go.
dance.
People would ask me, is he okay? Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. Sorry.
That's okay. There we go. People would ask me if you were okay, and I would see your thing moving, so
Yeah.
I knew you were. And by your thing, I mean your amp on your back.
Yeah, that was funny.
How heavy was that thing, dude? It was at least 30, 40 pounds.
That was hella heavy.
I think he still has a bruise. There's
Yeah.
still one little indentation bruise on the back, on
Yeah.
his back. It's hilarious.
And I don't think people realize that this party went for like at least 3 miles? Like it was like a 3.5K dance party.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Was it that long?
And it lasted for like 3 hours, so it was an endurance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Let me add some people to this group chat. Let's try to see if we can get Cody and DYOR in here.
All right.
But yeah, like
Uh,
yeah, can't multitask, guys. Who else would? Oh, YDC, Young Dumb Crypto.
I know my list is insane. Like there were so many different nights we hung out with a bunch of different people, but
Oh
yeah.
well. All right, it says I can't add them to
Ken,
the conversation right
what
now.
was your favorite
Weird.
part? You have to pick one.
Let me create a new one. Yeah, you guys talk.
Me?
Yeah.
Talk.
Ken.
My favorite part was go-karting with the Flexa team.
Oh.
Those guys are fucking awesome. I love Tyler. Tyler? Yeah, that's his name. Dude totally looks pro-purge, like he'd be an asshole and everything. But he's
really?
not. And I love the dude. He took me go-karting with him, and we got kicked off the track. He won that competition. He got kicked off the track first.
Oh,
But
hi.
it was so much fun.
Why did
was
he
just
get kicked
fun.
off? What did he do?
Oh, we just it was how many cars or how many carts could we get to crash? We wanted to make pile-ups, and he totally won the pile-up competition, and then got kicked out pretty immediately.
Well,
but it was fun. I got to race Gator, and I kicked his ass, and I think I ended up winning something random, a T-shirt. Yeah, spend a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh, really?
You guys came back all like hot from that. It was kind of warm that day. I was like, I don't know about go-karts. Good.
Well,
Yeah.
we just kept going. We didn't get off, actually. So people were supposed to take turns, but like literally stayed on the track for an hour straight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I have
We were a little greedy.
You're like, no, mine. My track.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. I was like, how do I
My
get my
girlfriend.
name on this thing?
Yeah.
tell me, hold on one second.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Did
get.
you guys-
Neko's trying to get me to send him another link. I'm gonna
Okay.
try again, and then I got a
Did
funny
you guys
story
get
to
to
tell.
do the helicopter at all? 'Cause
No.
that was crazy.
We didn't. Instead, we went to go eat, and we were at the restaurant, and next to us is John Dunsmoor, and then we realized we don't have cell phone service, and how the hell are we gonna get a ride, an Uber back? So we had to hit up John Dunsmoor for an Uber. It was so embarrassing.
Oh yeah, we're in the
Thank you, John Dunsmoor.
You're
we're-
welcome. You're welcome. I'll send you the bill.
Yes, I figured.
Yeah. So the Canada.
The Canada.
Whatever.
The Canada.
This is such a shit show right now because I'm so trying to do other shit and I can't even participate in my own
Aw,
show.
too bad.
Canada doesn't have cell phone service, or it doesn't.
Oh, they don't have cell phone
No,
service.
our
No, they don't have cell phones.
our-
Yeah, there's no cell phones.
our
Igloo service only.
our thing doesn't have data or whatever. It costs like $1 million for a megabyte.
Right.
So I ended up having to just hop around on Wi-Fi, and we took an Uber from the conference to
Where we had Wi-Fi.
where we had Wi-Fi to a little restaurant, and then we get there, and I'm like, "Fuck, they don't have Wi-Fi." So I'm sitting there, kind of sweating, because I'm like, "Shit, hon, what are we gonna do?" Well, we knew John was already sitting there,
Yeah.
and was already there, but John was like in a meeting, and I don't want to like interrupt him and go, "Sir, I'm a fucking douchebag, and I don't know how to like make sure that I can."
my
Travel
God.
when I'm in other countries, and I
Right.
don't have the ability to like call an Uber. But then it dawned on me, well, what about a cab? So the lady
Yeah, we were like,
brought
what
a
did people
phone.
do before
right,
Uber?
the lady
What
brought a
was it?
phone, and will you, Tamara, please go into the group DM
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
and tell DYOR to send Cody. It won't let me add him to this group DM. Cody to this fucking group DM for some reason.
He's banned.
And tell him, say at DYOR, please, if you can, join the hangout and send Cody an invite. How the fuck would he do that? I could
don't
just
know.
DM Cody.
Yeah, why are
Okay,
you telling me to do these
I don't know,
things?
hon. I can't.
Well, can we make it as complicated as possible?
Hey, so I have a story.
Yes.
That person that I was meeting with
Yeah.
is actually this. Well, he's not a CEO yet, but he's a primary investor in a public company that is trying to become the Berkshire Hathaway of crypto and blockchain.
All right.
Wow. Named
Wow.
James Haft, and it's a Norwegian publicly traded company. All this is public information now,
right.
and I didn't trade on it, of course. So I believe it's called Elements. I'm terrible with names right now.
Right.
I'm terrible with names always, but
Yeah, me too.
look it up
Okay.
because they're going to be doing some cool investing and kind of, like I said, the Berkshire Hathaway model of taking over the world. So
Okay.
it should make this space a lot more exciting.
Awesome. But that's not financial advice.
That is not financial advice. Do not invest. Do your own due diligence. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Here's some financial advice. Buy a PlayStation and add me on and play Apex with me. My username's Ken Bozak.
Oh, I love that.
I suck at Apex.
I actually, John Dunsmoor, are you game for anything right now?
You're gonna do this right now?
What are we doing? What are we? Yeah.
He's like, he got nervous.
All right,
are you
hold on a
sweating?
second.
Yeah. What's going on?
Are we playing Crypto Truth or Dare?
No, but close. I reached out to a few of our DGen friends, and they had a couple questions. Should we do this
Hold
now?
on a second. Before we do that, I have a thing. Hold on.
Oh.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for John Dunsmoor's the baddest motherfucking lawyer you've ever heard. And now we're going to do a little thing called Ask John.
None of this is legal advice now.
Right. No.
I'm not your lawyer. I'm not anybody's lawyer.
No. This
Nobody
is not.
anything that I tell you.
No. And, these are just...
This is not legal advice. We're just asking John as a friend who happens to be a lawyer.
Just pure
but
fun.
The two things are
if you're
separate.
down with this, give it 2 thumbs up. If you're not, only 1 thumb up.
I consent to this.
Yeah.
Nod my head.
Okay, you're nodding. Okay, I'm going to take that.
Okay, so Tamara has a few questions from the from our audience that she'd like to ask you, John. And
yeah, we did this with Ask Dr. Trog. There's a couple people who just have some embarrassing life issues they might be going through, and wanted to know, what's your take
I'm not
on
a
this?
divorce attorney.
Right. Well, let's just start off with Jared the Realtor. He writes in and he asks, if I'm dressed as a woman, can I legally use any women's restroom? I mean, this is Jared. I mean, I don't know what Jared's life is like, but
you're talking about Jared the Realtor.
Yeah,
our
he's
friend
he's
Jared,
a friend of ours.
the Realtor. And wait, let me ask that. Let me get a handle on that question.
Okay, yeah, Yuki likes to overly explain the question, so you
Jared
get it.
the Realtor wants to know, what is it again? If I'm dressed as a woman, because apparently that's something he does, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Presume.
Yeah,
It's just a question.
There's
He's probably
nothing,
asking for a friend.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with dressing with a woman, Jared. We all know that that's your
You
lifestyle
said dressing
choice.
with a woman.
Dressed as a woman.
Okay.
He wants to know, can I legally use any woman's restroom? John, what do you think about that? What's the legality there?
The answer is yes. There are so-called bathroom laws in the state of South Carolina and North Carolina, and I believe a couple other random southern states, but I don't believe they ever passed. So for the most part, as long as you're not doing anything perverted or illegal, you can use any restroom you want.
Good to know.
Whether that's a fashion faux pas or may cause other problems, that's a whole nother issue with the business. But generally speaking, you can go wherever.
I don't know if it's legal or not, but I've used the women's restroom when the men's room is full. I can't hold it. I just run in there, man, and hope nobody sees me come out. I just try to blend in on the way out. Like I walk out of the women's bathroom like backwards, like Michael Jackson moonwalking,
But yeah, so that reminds me, I've also seen this Dyson thing that has a hand washing faucet apparatus, and I think that's just the dumbest idea that man has ever came up with. So shout out to Dyson for making things that are stupid.
Wait, what is it?
Take longer.
I'm gonna have to look at it.
It's a faucet that also has hand drying mechanism. You know how they make those little hand drying things?
Yeah.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. For a number of reasons, but just one of the primary reasons, it's going to take forever to get out of the bathroom because you wash your hands and then dry them off in the sink that you just washed them in. So
I know.
Take longer.
All right. So here's the thing about those blowy, dry things.
Yeah.
I've read that those were
too.
really bad because they just suck all the poo air and just blow it on you.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
so now you've just washed your hands, and they're gonna respray the germs on you too. So.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Someone with OCD will never leave. They'll be just like
Exactly. Yeah, you're just trapped there to endless loop.
You know what I'm
bad.
learning as I do more traveling.
Yeah.
That I'm getting less germophobic, and I find that for some reason the older I get, the more I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god.
And I'm finding that, and I mean number 2, the bad bathroom.
Oh yeah.
And I'm finding myself being okay with using like airport shitters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're no longer shit shy, is what?
Yeah. That's
a big adult step, man.
Thank you.
He's a big boy now.
I used to be shit shy too. A little TMI here, and
Oh my
you have to kind of get used to that. Starbucks when you're traveling are great. Anything American, so McDonald's, Burger King.
I'm pretty colon conscious when I'm traveling.
Same, Ken.
Wait, you guys go to like India or some other countries in the world where it's just a hole. You're supposed to bring toilet paper.
The whole thing is fine, right? Like that's more just like
it's healthier for your body. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, squatting like that's supposed to be healthier, and I agree with the Squatty Potty. If you don't have that investment made, you need to make it. But there's something about going into a place and just seeing a hole there, and you're like, well, I don't have any tissue. I really don't need the sock anymore. So, decisions are made. And you just
John doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells, everybody.
The 3 seashells, what is that?
Wait, what is that?
What is that, Ken?
We don't either. We're with you, John.
What's the 3 seashells?
Oh, I'll leave that up to the comments. If anybody knows where that's from, that would be awesome.
I'll miss it completely because for some reason Periscope comments never pull up for us. We're just sitting there and we don't see anything. So I gave up. I don't
thinking
even look
about
anymore.
switching from if I continue doing live shows, which I'm thinking I'm never going to do again.
This is it. The last one.
No,
you guys.
Not
last guess.
Seriously, guys. I have a little bit of an announcement later, and this actually may be my last live show.
You're supposed to. This is an announcement of the announcement,
yeah,
not the announcement.
There is going to be an announcement towards the end of the show. It's not a bad thing. This is a good thing. It's called growing and doing what makes us happy in life. And but anyway,
I do have 2 more questions.
Okay, so we have 2 more questions.
You want to do you want to do the intro again because the music's so good.
We'll do a short version.
Okay.
This is my ringtone now. I'm gonna need this.
Night court.
And now it's time for Ask John Dunsmoor. That's right, John Dunsmoor. I've already done this joke, but I'll do it again.
Oh,
John Dunsmoor is such a badass lawyer that when he enters the courtroom, the judge rises. John Dunsmoor.
God.
Is that a funny joke?
We'll take it out of context.
I know. I'm like, what?
Is that a funny joke? That just cracks me up to me.
Funny.
Okay.
From a lawyer's standpoint, that's hilarious.
Okay, good, because I don't know lawyer humor, so I'm treading new waters.
We're the worst of the worst. We're like right up there with like doctors and paramedics and things like that. So.
So Tamara, don't you have another question? We have another question from our audience. We've learned so far that Jared the realtor is a cross-dresser.
Right. Allegedly.
And Jared, the answer to your question, sir, is you are allowed to use any restroom you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, next.
Boogie Crypto writes in.
Boogie Crypto.
Mm-hmm. And he says, I'm 14. Can you give me a quick rundown on the emancipation process? My mom has really been bugging me lately.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Absolutely not.
Let me read that. Now I can't make it either. All right, guys, it's just us. All right, let's move on.
We're going to say Boogie. I'm sorry. We can't
Hold on a second. Hold on. Boogie Crypto, we all know him and love him, writes in and says, I'm 14 years old.
Right.
I did not know Boogie was only 14, first of all.
Yeah, he's a talented young guy.
He is a very talented young man, and his sense of humor is well beyond his years.
Yes.
But apparently, Mr. Boogie Crypto is having an issue with his parents, and he wants to know if he can emancipate himself from his parents.
Can you spell that word,
no.
sir?
And so, John, what is the legality there? Being a 14-year-old young lad
pass on this
who is very mature. Let us not.
Yeah. He's won hoodie contests before, so he's no.
What
joke.
is the legality on moving out of emancipating your parents, John?
There's a movie about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a state-related issue, and I would need to know his state before we can go through the whole process.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Funny story is emancipation is really easy for highly talented child actors or athletes where their parents have been mismanaging their money. So not saying that this is applicable to Mr. Boogie, but maybe that's an avenue you look into.
I'm going to say no. I don't know if Boogie's highly talented per se. No, I'm kidding. Let's just say talented. But and I don't know if his mom's mismanaging him more than just wanting him to clean his room. But that's all just guesses here.
Boogie,
I got emancipated when I was 14 years old.
Well, there we go.
It's possible. I mean, if I can do it, caveman can do it.
You guys are lucky because when I was 14 years old, my mom tried to get an abortion. And
is that why you had that scar on your forehead?
And,
yes.
And she went to the doctor and said, "Doc, is it too late for an abortion?" And I said, "Mom, I'm 14, and I'm right here. I can hear you. I'm here. I thought we were coming for like a checkup. I didn't know."
Oh, that's funny.
Damn it.
Okay.
That's funny. It is funny because it's true. Damn it. It's true.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My mother didn't love me. Okay, moving on.
Oh, she still doesn't.
That's why I had to kick her out of my life.
Hey, whatever works.
So Boogie, the answer to your question, sir,
is DM Ken.
Is being 14 years old. It's up to the state you're in, and if you can maybe figure out a way to argue that your mommy is misusing your monies, there's a possibility that you can emancipate.
Maybe
there's a tricky way too. You could try to get working papers, which is technically a form of emancipation that allows you to work certain hours, and that's a little loophole. If you get your working papers filled out, it's technically a proclamation of a form of emancipation.
Well, there we go. I'm sure this will help a lot of people on Twitter, this information.
I'm sure. Okay, so
I just want us to make KYC at 14 and get past the damn.
It's a lot of.
If I'm emancipated, wait. Now I have a question. Damn it! If I'm emancipated at 14, can I legally trade on Binance?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Or do I have to wait till I'm 18? Because technically I am an adult now.
That's true.
So the answer is generally no.
Binance then.
Well, no, the reason I know this is because it comes up with a lot of car rental places and things of that nature where they have these, like, for example, New York and Michigan have laws written where it is required that a car company rent to an 18-year-old. Whereas most car companies, you have to be 25 or 20 or something like that. So, it gets real weird when it comes to age gating.
Right. Well, because you can't drive a car if you're 14 anyways, so,
Yeah, I feel like they should just have, like, a quick puzzle at the cashier. Like, if you want to buy liquor or tobacco or whatever, like, if you can't figure out this fucking puzzle maze, no, you don't get your liquor. I don't care how old you are, you're too dumb to get drunk.
There's going to be a lot of people not being able to get their liquor.
I was going to say, we had these during the Jim Crow era of voting, and it didn't work out so well. It's not a good idea to go back that way.
Don't relive history.
So we can't do Jim Crow shopping. That's not going to work out.
Well, shopping maybe, but at least it's not, for voting or drive. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe for.
I just feel like if you can't solve a Sudoku puzzle, you shouldn't be able to buy a gun.
This is true.
Hey,
That's a good point.
I don't think I can solve a Sudoku
I am
puzzle.
for responsible gun ownership.
Yeah, I'm for responsible gun ownership, but I'm all about, like, the mental health thing. I feel like we need better mental. I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, Tamara, we have one last question. We have one last question.
You want to do the music again, or we good?
No, we don't need to do the music.
I can bobble my head.
Yeah, you bob your head.
Okay, so we have another one.
We have another one, and this is from one of our favorite people, but it's very troubled. It's a very troubled person. So it's from Shitposter Child.
Oh,
so just prepare yourself.
I haven't read this yet, so I'm already getting nervous.
I'm very nervous.
Whew.
Should we go for it? Let's take a vote.
You guys are nervous.
Yeah.
Ken, what do you say? Should we read this?
Let's see. Wait. Oh, I can't. I thought you were showing me something. I turned my screen on.
No.
I know. I say read it regardless. It's shitposter.
Right.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
John, are you saying read it?
Why not? Yeah.
Why?
You only
Right.
Yuki?
This is not.
Yuki?
The disclaimer is these are questions that are called in, written into
I mean,
us.
we can't help what goes on in someone else's mind.
We don't know what people so
okay, I'm ready.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
This is Shitposter
All right,
Child.
for the first
Fun
time,
Face.
I'm
Go ahead.
opening this letter that Shitposter Child
And
has
it is
sent
sealed.
me,
I see that it is a
sealed
letter.
All right, Shitposter Child writes in and asks, "Is it legal to masturbate to pictures of myself as a child?"
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Shitposter Child. Seriously.
Wait. What?
We can't
Hold
answer
on
that,
a second.
Shitposter Child.
Hold on.
I can actually answer this because
I had
was
to edit that
former
out.
Public defender, and I was an ACLU legal fellow, so the First Amendment kind of plays into this.
Oh.
You can do it to your own picture. However, if you send that picture to anyone,
Right.
and I mean anyone in a sexual manner,
Yeah.
If their genitalia exposed, even though they are your genitalia,
Right.
you are now disseminating child pornography.
All right.
Oh,
there you
so
go.
if I sent a baby picture of myself to you and I'm fully nude, I'm in trouble.
Only in a
theory,
sexual
if it's
Oh,
in
wow.
a sexual
Right.
nature. So,
Wow.
I gotta tell my grandma to stop mailing me shit.
well, that's the thing is grandmas send
Right.
wiener pics of little
Right.
kids all the time,
Right.
and they don't mean to. So
Okay.
that's not necessarily for them, but if you do photobomb someone in a sexual manner,
You're in trouble.
guess what?
You can be. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
extremely
That's good.
uncomfortable with this conversation. Shitposter Child. The answer to your question, and I'm not going to read it again, is it's okay. Just keep it to yourself. So
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
okay, that was let me do the thing. That was John Dunsmoor answers the questions. And thank you, John. Let's let it play.
It was weird for all of us.
I'm gonna have to get John to represent me when that warrant from Texas catches up to me.
Wait, what?
Oh wait, let me stop that music. Okay.
what warrant?
You know
Do I
what,
even wanna
Tamara?
know?
I don't know if that.
Wait, what? Dude, I've been arrested. You didn't see that?
No,
Lately?
I miss a lot of things, Ken. Fill me in. What happened?
No, a few months ago, Homeland Security arrested me in the airport at Texas, and now I have a warrant because I never went to court. I was just like, I'll never go back to Texas.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's not how that works. Oh, that's not how that works.
Ooh.
Hey man, hey look, listen. I've been to Canada, I've been to Portugal, I even went to Hong Kong with an active warrant in Texas. I'm pretty sure that's how it's working out.
So,
I'm making this
generally
face,
what
Ken.
happens- yeah, generally what happens is it's like on the worst possible day, right? Like, God forbid somebody in your family's passed away and you're like driving to the funeral, and then you get pulled over for like a blinker violation.
Right.
And they're like, hey, you've got an active warrant from Texas.
Mm.
Guess what? We're going to hold you for the weekend because the magistrate's not here until Monday and see if they want you.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
So
Yeah, but see, the
Very
joke's
careful.
on them because in that scenario, they have to catch me because I didn't stop.
Mm.
well, that is assuming you pulled over and
My
Being like,
my
hey.
driver's license says I am Satoshi Nakamoto.
Well, I am glad to hook you guys up because John, you might get a lot of
I
work
feel
from
like
this
that's
fellow.
true. And hey,
God help me.
Ken, remember this is a live show, sir, and everything you say is being broadcast out to the world right now.
Except for Texas, they don't
I don't
do.
pay taxes, and you
Oh,
should
Ken,
buy
no.
Bitcoin.
Hold on.
and
Hold on, let's not.
That was
Let's
really
not
loud
say
in
that
my
on the
ears.
air.
Oh my gosh, you're too much.
So
Okay.
to that end, remember that Al Capone was busted by the IRS and
Oh,
not
shit.
the DOJ or the FBI.
Also, the guy from
True.
Studio 54 was bragging. Remember that they got busted. They had all those drugs and shit in that club, and what got him busted was he was bragging on the air about not paying taxes. So that's something you don't want to play with. You must pay your taxes.
Right. What's that old saying
Oh, guys.
about death and taxes? Have we talked about the Futurist conference
No.
at all? You guys?
Nah. Now listen.
I tried to. I brought up the helicopter.
Oh, you
the
did. You
go-karts.
did. You did.
I wanted to talk about the cabana party.
Oh, let's do that.
How hilarious was that rapper who kicked it off?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I feel bad. I can't say. You go ahead and say.
Wait,
talk amongst yourselves about
Ken,
that
you
rapper.
go ahead
Let's
and
do
make your
that.
comments about that. I think it was a fantastic party. I'm just going to say that.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was epic cringe, like crypto cringe. It was weird because I don't know anybody who really kind of knew who that person was or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was literally standing right next to crypto finally when it started, and I looked and I was like, "Wait, how aren't you doing this?" Like,
Right.
this? But
my
it was
first
awesome.
thought
It
was
just
where is
hella
Nye?
cringe.
I was like, Nye could do better than this guy.
right.
Where is
Oh
Nye?
my god, Nye would have killed it.
I know.
Let me just say that. Let me see. Here's a picture of this. Was like the DJ guy.
Oh,
It was a great party. I had a blast.
It
But
was fun.
Yeah, the DJ was good.
Yeah.
DJ was good.
Rappers are incredibly expensive, though, guys.
Right. So my, I was gonna
I was
say.
surprised that we didn't see Brock Pierce get behind the DJ booth. I was talking to him with a couple people right next to it, and I was waiting for it because that's his move. He does that every once in a while.
Oh, does he do that? I didn't know
really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him DJ a few times.
So I was just gonna say that I think there was an issue with the music. I didn't hear music when the guy was rapping.
Yeah. It was just like a
Yeah, I didn't.
It was acapella.
acapella rap.
Yeah,
I was about to say
seriously.
that, and I'm like, that does not sound right.
Yeah, you know what?
the Canadians do it.
Messiah's
okay,
here.
that makes
Messiah.
Messy!
Hey.
Yay! Look
Hey,
at the
Messy.
hero thing in the background.
Thanks for
Oh,
showing
look at
up.
that hero.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Yeah, it's
Ew.
lazy green screen in the back. I mean, I could have put it up or whatever.
It's like halfway put up, but the good part showing.
You actually know why I hang it over the top, right?
Right.
It's because I've got a crazy ass cat that, for whatever reason, when it's all the way down, she won't stop attacking it. Just over and over, and she'll knock it over and roll on it. It's a big pain in the butt, but
Messy, I'm going to ask
The
you,
best cats are.
if you don't mind, let's get some viewers watching this. Do you mind retweeting that thing I tagged you in?
Oh, no, of course. Give me just a moment. I apologize for that. I actually just
No,
got off a
please don't.
work call. Let's see.
How'd it go?
Please don't apologize.
Oh, it went well. It went very well. Okay, I see episode 22. Okay, there we go. Boom.
The live
hey,
one,
But
yeah.
I wanted to actually take this opportunity really quick.
Yeah.
To do something that I forgot to do in
Oh,
Toronto.
I know what it is.
I'm afraid. This. Hold on. Oh shit. Holy
There we go.
fuck, dude! You just gave me a heart attack.
Shut
you
up.
can't do that shit live like that. You can't
That was
do that.
fierce. That was pretty good.
That
would have been so good live, like in real life live. Like,
I'm all
the
barking.
real world.
I'm all barking,
Yeah.
no bite.
yeah.
Messiah, I just want to say that after meeting you, I love you, and I'm not just
Aw.
being a weirdo, but I haven't, we haven't interacted a great deal on the Twitters, but you and I connected a little bit. We had some nice
We had
long
a good time. Man.
conversation.
Good time. I talked with Ken some.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, we had a good talk, bro, and I want to say, much love, man.
Again, much love, brother.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Fucking Nye literally kept me and Bagsy alive. Literally, that dude is a saint. And he was such a good sport about it too. We were just like, dude, we're next level. We're just gonna follow you wherever you go. Don't let us die. And Nye was just like, all right, dude, don't worry, I got you. And this dude kept us alive, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Far country.
I'm
Yeah,
sad.
that hero party was epic.
Yeah, I had a good time too. It was cool. It was cool getting to meet everybody. You don't realize, it's just crazy, putting faces to all the cartoon avatars and stuff.
Right. Well, I gotta run, guys. I love you all, and I'll be listening on the other side. But I gotta go. I got a
later, Ken.
picnic.
All right.
Okay, bye, Ken. Thanks
Bye,
for hopping
Ken.
on, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
See you at the next conference.
Thanks for having me. Have a day.
Okay,
Be
bye.
good. Watch out for
Be-
the Warrens.
Be good.
Everybody listening, do me a favor. Send nudes.
Age appropriate news.
Right.
Yes, age
We've
appropriate.
learned this.
It's yes.
Free legal
All
suggestions.
regal.
So,
I can't even
Oh,
talk now.
man.
So the hero Wendyo party, that was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I was impressed with how many people showed up.
Dude, it was a madhouse in there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It we were there, and there's no one in there at first, and then everyone got there, and then the room was packed, and it was hot, and it was crazy, and
really hot. You could barely get up to the bar to get a drink.
I know.
Oh, I missed that party.
You missed
I
it.
missed the. Yeah, I'm sad.
I was just gonna say I don't remember seeing
I
you
know.
there.
He missed
John.
he missed most of the fun stuff. Good thing he's just fun to be around. So whenever you're with him, it's fun too. So
Yeah.
I can't bring too much fun too early, or things get wild.
Right.
that's right. you,
How
have
it
to,
is.
you have to wait for the after party.
Exactly. Yeah.
What was so wild to me about that whole experience, it's just that, I live in Alabama, like, it's extremely conservative. We don't have, like, legal weed here is going to be, that's a long way away.
Right.
In Toronto, everywhere you walked on the streets, like, you could smell it, you could see it. It was just so commonplace. And I had just the funniest moment. It was almost like a Black Mirror moment where outside the bar,
I was with you.
People were smoking J's, and the bar owner came outside, and he said, rather than where in a typical bar it'd be like, hey, quit smoking weed in front of my bar,
Right.
But the guy came outside and said, hey, you guys can't have your drinks outside.
Yes.
funny.
We died laughing. Me and you and Gunny.
Yes.
We just started we were like
that was so foreign to me though.
yeah.
Just wild, really.
Twilight Zone. Yeah.
So-
It was literally Twilight Zone.
I can't say how I know this, but I was told from a reputable source that wherever you can smoke a cigarette, you can smoke a marijuana cigarette.
Mhm.
And then at least Toronto or Ontario, excuse me, because it's governed by each province. So each province is different. Speaking of Uber, if you go to Vancouver, there is no Uber, there is no Lyft. And that's a mean fact. Especially when you get off of a flight and you're like, all right, well, I'll just Uber to my hotel. And there's no Uber.
You gotta take a $60 taxi instead, huh?
If you can remember
they have a
taxi.
nice little rail system, so the
yeah.
rail system takes you right down
that is something I saw. There was like is monorail.
Yeah, we did that, right? Yeah.
We took the UP Express or whatever from Toronto
I love the
Airport
public
to the
transportation.
downtown. But they're talking about a different place. They're talking about
in a different-
Vancouver.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vancouver.
I got to go there too. I need to go there.
I love Canada. I had a blast. I want to move there. It's really cool.
We didn't have any maple syrup or poutine. Did you guys have any
Oh
of that?
shit! I just remembered a funny story.
I
Holy
know there's a
fuck.
funny one there.
Oh my god. Ah, shit.
Messi just starts laughing.
I just fucking remembered the funniest.
Poutine's one of those words to me. It's like, have you guys ever seen like the tuna poke like on the menu?
Wait, yeah.
One thing I'll do to embarrass my wife is I'll ask for the tuna poke.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue. I'm sorry. It's just
No.
stream of consciousness.
I'm
there.
trying to find.
You and me on the same page, because anytime I hear the word poutine, I'm like, wait, what?
I'm trying to
Poutine.
I have a funny story. I'm trying
What
to
is
find
it?
I'm trying to find the guys. Omar, he's friends with Justina.
Yeah, Justina. and-
I don't
Justina
have a
and
great
Omar.
picture, but this is him. Hold on, it's this guy here. Hold
Aw.
on, article. Do. So Omar, he's.
And it was there. It was like, this is the after party. This is where it happened.
Oh, that's where it happened.
Yeah.
That couch. Okay, so listen, guys. Omar is like, I love this guy. He's like, I've never met him before. I barked at him on Twitter once because he tweeted at my wife and added me and a bunch of other people with his shirt off, and I had to bark at him. But
Fair enough.
Yeah, you might
exactly.
have that right, yeah.
But no, listen.
As you should have.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Messiah. Thank you. But
Don't encourage him.
So, but I don't. We've been interacting a little bit on Twitter. I never really met him, and I finally got to meet him. We're sitting on this is like the night has been going long, the full party. You know what I mean? Everybody's pretty
cabana party.
pretty wasted at this point, except for me because I don't drink. But I'm sitting there I'm exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted. What the fuck ever. There's this woman, I guess she's like Puerto Rican, I guess you would say. Like so she had kind of an accent. The reason I'm saying that,
I'm like, wait, where are you going with this?
Okay, no, I'm just saying
So-
she had an accent. That's why I'm pointing out the
Okay.
nationality. Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
so
sitting
mad.
there next to Omar on the couch. Omar's pretty. He's happy. You know, he's had a long, full day of enjoying.
We all had the whole Futurist conference.
So
was
I would say
great
like
and long.
a lot of drinking was done, whatever. So we're sitting there. Omar's next to me. I'm sitting on the couch, and this young lady is over there, and she's saying, "I'm hungry, I want pussy.
Because she has an accent.
She kept saying, I want pussy.
No, she said poutine. So I heard her.
Omar looks over. She's saying poutine. She's like, I want poutine.
Right.
And Omar and I both look over at her, and Omar's like, you want pussy? You know what I mean? And it was the funniest.
It went back and forth. It was this thing, and I'm like, no, poutine. And they just kept repeating. It was like this time loop that we were in.
Omar was a little bit like, he's like a little bit out of it, a little tired or whatever. And he kind of like perks up. He's like, you want pussy? You know, and he had this really confused look. And I'm sorry. It was funny at the time. It was
I think you had to be there moment. We have a lot of those. So,
it was very funny because it sounded like she was saying she wanted pussy, but she wanted poutine.
Yes, she wanted poutine, which actually kind of sounds that way too.
What happens in crypto conferences stays in crypto conferences.
It should.
Unless there's a live
show,
cast about it. Yeah, a live show about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Messi, you got any good stories you want to share?
You got any funny stories?
What was your favorite part?
Futurist stories.
Trying to think.
It's like, which one to pick? There are so many.
I remember you at the party.
Yeah.
You were very concerned about Gunny. You were like, have you seen Gunny? I'm worried about Gunny. What was that about?
I had to make sure he's okay, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually the first time I've met Gunny.
Oh, really?
Mine too.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
We've known each other. We've known each other for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, the first time I met him in person, he's a really cool guy.
I liked him.
Great to work for. I just was like, bro, like, we're, like, here's the thing. I don't know. I'm like 29. I've turned 30 in a couple of months.
Old man.
I party really, really hard. And I always have. And I didn't want him to think that he had to like be as crazy as me and like keep up with me, like at the, you know what I mean?
Oh, you were worried about him.
Have him be like, like, bro, like, oh, like, what have I done? So I just had to make sure, where he was. It's just, you gotta look out for your homies when you're out.
Yeah. You're like a Gunny mom. It was so cute. Go
Gunny
ahead,
mom.
John. Sorry.
I have to hop off, but I'll leave you with this nugget.
Okay.
One of my friends from Buffalo reminded me when I was driving up to Toronto that if you die in Canada, you die in real life. So that's important for Gunny or anybody else.
I did not know that, John. Thank you.
I thought we got restarted right here in America.
Well,
I thought so too. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a real country either.
Damn.
But so be it. Anyway, guys, it's been amazing. I can't wait to see you guys again soon.
Yeah.
And the Futurist conference was absolutely wonderful. It's on my calendar forever. So
yes, that was a blast.
Until next time, guys.
All right, bye, John.
We'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
we're
John.
good. We're good. Not like Ken. We're good. We pay our taxes.
Yes.
Yes, pay your taxes.
We do, and we don't have any warrants, so we're fine.
You're fine.
Thanks. Bye.
Guys, how weird was the airport experience leaving Toronto? Because in the States, like, I'm used to like pretty much getting naked, like when I'm going through security. Like, take my shoes off, take my socks off, take my belt off. They're gonna pat me down still.
Right.
They're gonna put me in that machine that literally lets somebody look at my naked body.
Yeah.
You have to put your hands up. Like
I
this,
don't like that.
Yeah,
I had to do that.
No, literally, they can like see your naked body. And
I know.
in Toronto, I was like, hey, like, do I need to take my shoes off? They were like, no.
Huh?
And I was like, do I need to empty my pockets? They were like, we'll just take your phone out.
Oh, wow. We did everything. We did everything like normal. We were like
what?
shoes.
That makes
pockets.
me think that Toronto gives no shits about the U.S. and they don't care if they send.
They don't care, yeah.
Yeah, they're like
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, I threw away my last J, as I was walking the airport, like I could have had this damn thing in my pocket. Nobody would have known.
Exactly. Well. Yeah,
well, damn. I don't. I remember it being. Yeah, like you said, it was harder getting on an airplane in the U.S. than it was in Toronto.
For sure. Yeah.
But I want to say this. The whole. I've said this lately, and this is my new thing that I'm saying because it's true.
All right.
That flying is better than it used to be. So the airports are better. They're nicer. The waiting, like areas are nicer. There's like iPads and shit. When I was a kid, now Messi,
like 50 years
I'm
ago?
12 years older than you, sir. So please don't argue with me. And I can see
I'm not listening. If you can tell, I was listening right now. I wasn't about to respond.
Okay, I can see it in your face. You're gonna argue. No,
I'm not gonna argue. Go ahead. You've got the floor.
So when I was a kid, fucking flying was a nightmare.
They smoked
First of all,
on planes.
we weren't that. We're not that old.
No, we were not that old. Really,
Not that
we were
old.
just kidding.
But now
You're like, damn.
the waiting areas are fucking nice. The restaurants are good. There's plugins and iPads and shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there's apps now that tell you where your gate is. When I was young and you got off an airplane, you had to fucking go stare at an old fucking monitor and figure out where the next flight was. It was a nightmare. And now it's very easy. And people also, I will say this, that people are friendlier. People overall in the airports are friendlier. I remember flying and people were fucking pissy and pissed off and grouchy, and it was hell.
Oh,
That's
well, maybe
all.
you were just grouchy, so
No,
everything seemed grouchy.
Nope.
Were you a grouchy kid?
Actually, lied. I am about to argue.
Okay, go
ahead.
for it.
Let's
Please
hear
do.
So I would argue that the airport experience is better, but the flying experience is worse.
Tell me.
The seats are smaller.
Reason being, the seats are so small. I mean,
Okay.
like I'm not even like that tall of a guy. I'm 6 foot flat, and my knees are just jammed into the seat in front of me. And this was new for me.
Mm-hmm.
On one of my flights, my seat didn't even lean back.
I know, mine
The little
too.
button to lean back was gone.
Yeah, well, mine didn't work. So.
Oh wow.
I would agree with you there. I'm a tall fellow, also, and the person.
So you're like 6'1", aren't you?
No,
At
6 foot.
least.
6 foot.
He's 6 foot.
And
you seem taller than that.
the person
He
leaned
does
back
his
and
hat up a little higher so he could get like another inch.
the person in front of me leaned back on the flight, and literally I was like, I saw them. They were like in my lap. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I could have
cuddled
just
him.
gave them a
Yeah, you
back
should have just
massage.
put your arms around him.
How weird would that
I was
be?
actually they were on Twitter, and I was watching them doing. They were in a group DM, and I was watching their group DM. But
I was watching that guy too. He was tweeting to some girl.
Did you
It was
really?
actually really interesting. It was he wasn't currently tweeting because we were flying, but he just kept scrolling through his tweets with her. I was like, that is so sweet. I mean, he went way back one time. And then he noticed I was looking at him, and it got a little awkward.
Yeah, that's super awkward.
I was trying to take a picture with my phone, and this dude and his wife and I realized I looked really fucking creepy because I was trying to take a picture of the dude because he was like on his phone or something. I was going to make a funny tweet,
Sure,
but then I realized I looked like one of those people in the subway who's taking like, pictures of like women awkwardly. So I immediately put my camera down and stopped myself because I realized I was taking a picture of this dude's wife, and it was awkward.
Yeah. Oops, my bad, bro. I'm not a creeper, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on my return flight home, I already just hate flying in general. Just because, I honestly, there's no reason why I don't like flying, just because maybe I just don't do it often, or I don't like being in that like closer proximity to that many people that I don't know, or it's just nasty. It's just like germs everywhere.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like a total germaphobe, but like that's fucking nasty.
I know.
And so I'm already thinking about man, I'm sitting on this fucking airplane. I get in the airplane and I'm like, oh shit, I'm in an exit row because I didn't get to pick my seat for this leg of the flight back. And I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. And then a normal looking businessman comes and sits down on the other side, so there's a seat in between us. And I look at him, we give each other a nod, like, what's up, bro? And I was like, you know what? This flight isn't going to be so bad. The flight was about to leave. We were about to leave the gate. Nobody had sat between us. I was like, okay, fuck yeah. I've got my arm over a little bit more, taking up as much room as I can. And then all of a sudden, this deathly ill woman comes walking down the aisle. Last person on the airplane, blowing her fucking nose, being like literally like,
oh no.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, oh my fucking, no, you're not sitting by me. She, walks up to the flight attendant by me, and I'm like, okay, phew.
Yeah.
You're just talking to the flight attendant. You're not sitting by me. She's like, do you guys have any this medicine? Do you have any that? So the flight attendant goes to get this lady a bunch of medicine. And this lady goes to the bathroom, takes the medicine, whatever, comes back and sits right next to me. I'm like, fuck. So the whole time, I'm sitting there doing that shallow breathing, trying to breathe through my nose too. Because in my head, I'm like, they always say breathe through your nose, because you got the hairs, they filter out the germs.
Right. Put your
so
shirt up there,
yeah.
like filter it with your shirt. Just
I should have just been sitting here like this.
You should have. I would have.
That would have been pretty funny, actually. But here's the worst part. So this fucking woman, not only does she have the gall to be that fucking sick on an airplane and that close proximity to that many people, because honestly, like, that's just rude.
That is
rude.
Let's
be honest.
Yeah.
It's extremely rude. If you're literally deathly fucking ill like that, don't fucking sit by me.
Don't go out of the house.
Yeah. Don't leave. Don't get on the airplane. You just exposed, 160 people. Hey, congratulations. You just fucking caused an epidemic. Good for you.
Exactly.
But the thing is here's the worst part. So she's getting cold on the airplane or whatever, right? I'm cold. And she, is already spilling over into my seat. And she is grabbing her jacket and pulling it up over her. And her jacket is touching me on the side.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there in my seat, literally like this, leaned up against the fucking window, she's breathing through my nose shallowly. And like, that was the worst flight of my life, but because for 2.5 hours, I sat there, feeling her jacket spilling over on me, rubbing on me, having her blowing her nose constantly and stuffing her tissues into the seat in front of her.
Oh no,
that's disgusting.
No.
I'm grossed out.
Horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I'm pretty much a germaphobe.
I had that happen though. Like we were. Do you have a specific story?
No.
Because on the way on our flight there, we were sitting there happily waiting for our plane, and then someone came and sat right behind us. We're not on the plane yet. We're just waiting to board. Right. And they came and sat right behind it, and they smelled so bad, like the BO of like sour smell, but it was
just unbathed.
Yes, and it was so strong. I was like, I just had to get up like immediately and just like walk. And then I almost started having a panic attack. I was like, the fuck if this person is sitting next to me on the flight? Fuck, what am I gonna do?
They did sit so like bad. 4 like
yes,
seats
you could
behind
smell
us,
him, but it was not next to us.
That's so offensive. So I've just never understood that. Like, how does somebody allow themselves to go out in public like
that? I tweeted that and I got a good answer from a lot of people. Possibly what's this diet? What is the diet? I forgot.
Keto?
The keto diet, eating all the meat that you smell after, that there's like an aroma that comes with someone who just gets on a keto diet. So I don't know if that's what it is or not, but I've been noticing that a lot lately.
I don't think that because I don't go pure keto, but my wife has phases where she goes pure keto, and which sucks because I can make like maybe a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Like, that's what level of cook I am.
Right.
So, like, the very fact that like I even have dinner or like eat some nights is like totally due to this woman.
Right.
Fucking saint. But I'll have to eat like the keto meals and shits, and I mean they're good. It's just high protein, high fat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you think that's BS?
I've never noticed like her smelling different,
right.
Especially like if you're with somebody for a long time, like their scent. Like,
right, exactly.
Knows, like, somebody smells like, and I don't think it's that. I mean, sometimes, and I actually, back in the day when I managed an insurance office in a lower income neighborhood, I noticed this quite frequently where people would come in unbathed.
Right, yeah.
And they would have that kind of, I know exactly the smell you're talking about. Slight hint of cigarettes. That's kind of stale, sour, smell. Not really like onion BO, like, bro, you didn't drink deodorant today. It's more just like,
it's a sour, like whole body smell. It's just like the whole body smells.
That's gotta be it though. But seriously, how can you let yourself go in public? That's fucking disgusting.
I don't
know, but it's bad. I have a really sensitive sense of smell, so when I smell something, I'm like, oh shit, it's bad. Yeah. But they do make a shirt just for people like me and you, Messy, that you can buy that rolls up like a turtleneck that you can cover up your face.
That's a good idea.
It's true. It is true. They have these.
I'd be so worried about offending like somebody if I actually had that.
I know. How funny would it be though?
It was funny. So I was telling Gunny Dan before I got on the plane, I was like, bro, I was expressing how much I hated being in that close proximity to all those people and how like I was basically gonna fucking die,
right,
like, from being exposed to all those germs in that confined environment. And he was like, bro, just wear a mask on the plane. He was like, that's what I do. And I was like, you do realize when you wear the mask, everybody thinks you're have sick. A deadly disease.
Yes.
So everybody's like looking at you the whole time like, dude, is this guy serious?
That's not bad though, because then people stay the fuck away from you.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's actually true.
This might be he might be onto something.
They stay the fuck away from you, but at the same time, they're in the back of their head like, they're like glaring at you.
Yeah.
They're like some serious bad vibes your way. Like,
I think I'm developing a theory that it's something from like maybe it's the South, but I'm going to say Alabama because I'm from Alabama. So I think that like we're too nice to people. Like we care about other people's feelings more than they care about ours, and then we're inherently pissed off when they're doing something rude. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah, everybody here is so focused on manners and you know how you. You know, it's crazy because this happened in Toronto. You know, when Dan and I were leaving the hotel, I held the door for these two women because you know I'm you know from the fucking South. I hold the door for a man or a woman. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm gonna hold the door for you.
Yeah.
And they literally looked at me like I was insane.
Why?
I don't know. That's the thing. These were like, I guess they were from somewhere else, you know, and people don't hold doors. But I just made that connection in my head. I was like, oh, I wasn't even thinking twice about this. And I didn't like hold the door to be creepier because you were special. I held the door just because that's what you did.
Now we're going to hurt people's feelings by holding the door.
Listen to me. I have a funny hold the door story. Okay. I held the door open for a young lady at the post office. She gets in line before me at the post office.
Oh, bro.
And then doesn't even I held the door for her. She's in front of me. I walk up. There's not even a fucking nod. Not even like a thank you for holding the door. I treated that out, and motherfuckers were like, well, if you held the door, you shouldn't even expect her. That's like, you know, you shouldn't expect a thank you. And I'm like, I don't want to thank you. Just like a just a nod of like, thank you. I'm going to cut in front of you now.
Right.
You know?
Thanks for letting me in line
literally,
first.
though. Oh, my God.
So...
I feel like I've had that experience too in some capacity. It is very frustrating because here's the thing: you don't expect them. You know, of course, you know, every now and then you do get that super nice person that's like, "Oh, I insist," you know, like get in front of me in line. You know, like you were here before me. Rarely, of course, but you know, you don't expect that when you hold the door from somebody. You probably know they're going to get in front of you, but you know, saying like, "Hey, thanks." You know, that's it. That's all it takes. You know.
Yeah. I didn't even want her to say thank you for. There's not the holding the door. I'm fine. Right. That's fine. It's just like if you're gonna get in front of me at the long line of the thing, you should at least just make eye contact of like, or I don't know. I don't care.
Just acknowledge the act. You know, acknowledge the sacrifice.
All right.
I have one other plain gripe though as a woman. You know, I've seen this new chair that people are tweeting out, like the triangle thing and the other thing to make men sit like women with their legs closed. Have you guys seen that in the have women sit with their legs open?
I think you guys should pull that up.
No, it's the weirdest shit I've ever
seen. What is it called? I don't know what it is. When you sit wide on a bus or something.
Here's the thing. That's not like a sexist thing or a power move. It's literally a matter of pain.
Right. Like you don't want to smush anything.
Spreading. That's what it is.
Okay. So here's the thing though. I'm on the plane and I have as much, you know, like space as this guy has, but he is now gaping his legs open, and like you said, the woman spilling over, his knee was like halfway in my thing. I'm like up against the side, like, and he's still touching me, and I don't really want some dude's leg like up against
some rando.
I'm like I mean, and like I'm aware that he's touching my leg, so I'll move my leg over a little bit, and then he just splays open wider and is still touching my fucking leg. I'm like, I know, like, what is going on?
Every inch you give, he takes.
Yes, I'm like, what the hell?
Well, listen, guys, we have an announcement that we want to make live here on the air, and this is good news, and it's also not, you know, it's good news. It's good news.
I'm pregnant. No, I'm kidding.
Then there's news. Okay, but I just wanted to. Go ahead and say this and get this out there because it's, you know, it's a thing. So we have a couple of announcements we'd like to make. You know, Tamara and I have some very exciting things in store in regards to our Run with Euclid events.
Are you reading this?
Yes, because I prepared a statement. Because this isn't easy.
You should do a breaking news statement.
Yeah, this isn't easy because this is, you know, it's a little sad part of it. That being said, with a heavy heart. My first announcement is I will no longer be producing CTMZLive, as I've realized that producing a live group show is not our end goal. And in doing this will allow Tamara and I to focus on what our end goals are, which is being more out and connected with the community and doing our Run with Euclid events. So there's that. Which brings us to our second announcement, which is very good. It looks as though we may be working with MAPS with our Run with Euclid events. And we're very excited about that. MAPS is the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, and we're going to do a kind of a charity thing associated with the runs, and I'm very excited about that. But yeah, that's it. So there you go.
That's it. Messy, what do you think?
What do you think, Messy?
So you guys aren't going to be doing TMZ Live anymore?
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing a group live show any longer. It saddens me because we've had such a fucking great time. We've had amazing guests. I love our co-hosts, but I just realized that it is just taking too much time, effort, and energy to continue producing a live show every week. And Tamara and I have some things going on that's.
Here's the thing. I mean, that was extremely well produced too. And we found this out. Of course, Twitch streaming is one thing that's so improv and so informal. But we're still doing podcasts for Hxro every now and then. We'll have a guest on, interview them, and at first we did them live, and it was a huge undertaking.
It is
to have everybody there, to have everything done right. It's a lot more work than people realize.
It is.
It is,
especially like I said, with the amount of production that went into CTMZLive. I mean, that was next level. You guys did a fantastic job. So
well, thank you, sir.
Oh, thanks.
I understand. I understand the pivot. In other words, it does make sense.
Well, honestly, Messy, like the more that Yuki does the runs, because this was a second run and the first one went good, and every time we go to a conference we just love it. We like being around the people and everything, so I think that the live show is never his full, I like doing the live shows, but God, they're a lot. It's a lot,
and
then there's he does the more of these, and he's like, this is where I feel like at home, or so
it's all about just where you feel you can connect with the most people, and on the most personal level too. I mean, time is scarce. We don't have infinite time. It's the most valuable resource.
And then since he's got all these mental issues, it's a perfect fit with Matt.
Oh, shut up.
No, it is, dude. It's very it's weird how this journey has happened. It's just weird, and it's crazy to me that we are working, or possibly working with Maps, because I found these guys on Twitter right away. They're an alternative to the shit that doctors prescribe now, which is Xanax and antidepressants and shit. These guys are trying to figure out a way to utilize marijuana and mushrooms and shit like that,
ketamine and
ketamine and different psychedelic drugs that for mental health issues, and I think that's the way to go. I'm very passionate about that, so I'm very excited. The CTMZ thing is sad because I love those guys, and I hate that it's just it's time to kind of figure out what our focus is, and but that's
really interesting. I mean, there's some really promising research, surrounding psilocybin and treating depression and stuff like that. I feel like a lot more people have experienced depression issues, and than I mean, I've definitely had my share of depression issues. One of the most surprising things that I found, in dealing with my own personal depression was vitamin D. Actually, has been huge, and people don't understand that vitamin D is actually a prohormone. It's a precursor to a hormone in the body, and that being a fat soluble vitamin, and especially seeing that as people are inside so often these days, a lot of people have low levels of this hormone, and this hormone regulates so many different functions in the body. It regulates sex hormones, it regulates thyroid hormones, things to do with mood. I mean, literally the structure of your veins and arteries, your bones. I mean, literally so many things. And it's such a simple fix. And I didn't even know, because at first, if you're depressed, what's the doctor do? He's going to give you Prozac, and then when you act like a total nutcase on Prozac, he's going to give you something else. And he's going to give you something else. And it's just this endless spiral of giving you more things, giving you this and that. And I'm not saying anybody should get off their fucking meds.
Exactly. Yeah. It works for some people.
Before you're oh, Messiah said to take vitamin D and stop taking my Prozac. That's not what I'm fucking telling you.
Yeah. You said take vitamin D. Yuki said take mushrooms. So this is not life advice.
Yeah. I took vitamin D and mushrooms because of Messiah and Yuki. And I stopped taking my depression meds.
Right. Please don't do that.
But no, it's seriously, I mean, if you haven't had your blood tested, you need to have your blood tested and see, because a lot of times, not everybody, not in everyone's case, a lot of times the root cause of depression is, I feel like a lot of people, low vitamin D, and a lot of times too, it's situational.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, people think that there's something wrong with them, whereas, you know, in their shoes right then and there in that moment, anybody would feel the way they felt.
Right.
You know, it's just a human experiencing life, and not knowing exactly how to deal with it, you know, which is okay. It's about figuring that out. But
Yeah.
just kind of about my 2 cents and my personal issue or my personal experience
So
with the issue.
I haven't tried any. I haven't looked at the vitamin D, and that's interesting. Are you currently Are you saying you're doing?
Well, what I was going to say
day.
is, are you taking vitamin D supplements, or are you eating more things that have vitamin D?
I take vitamin D supplements.
Oh.
And one of the interesting things about vitamin D, like I said, it's fat soluble, so it takes a while to build up in your system.
Right.
So you won't see like huge immediate effects from it. But, you know, vitamin D is highly bioavailable. It's actually really interesting how it's manufactured. I believe they take it from lamb's wool. There's a substance I think called lanolin or something, lamb's wool, that they when exposed to ultraviolet light creates cholesterol or whatever it is. I can't remember the exact name, but that's the prodrug to the hormone that vitamin D becomes in the body.
So instead of licking a toad, you could lick a lamb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose maybe you could, you know, and people are now taking mushrooms and licking lambs,
Right.
Maybe simultaneously. But no, so if you take, and here's the thing, you know, it's got a really low toxicity level, and the human body can tolerate a lot. So a lot of people, you know, will load vitamin D. I take now 2,000, or actually 5,000 total, because my multi and then the extra I take IU per day. But that's considered widely to be a safe dose. And seriously, I mean, it's so many facets of my life, mood, energy, drive. I mean, everything has been impacted for a long time, and I've managed this for a long time.
You heard it.
Whereas, you know, nothing else could actually address those issues.
That's awesome, Messy. I'm
it's
glad.
It's surprising.
That's really good.
If you
Yeah.
think about it. Think about how many people are depressed these days. Think about how many people, you know, are feeling alone or feeling like they're down in the bottom of a fucking hole that they can't climb out of. And no matter what they do, I mean, you know, and if you've had this feeling before, you know what I'm talking about. No matter what you do, you just seem to dig your fucking hole deeper. You can't get out of it.
Right.
Our generation is really the first generation that is inside as much as we are, because there's so much to do inside now. There's so much that takes us away from the sun, and getting away from the sun, and not only just the vitamin D, you know, through the ultraviolet interaction with your own skin, but also the actual visualization of the spectral wavelengths that the sun makes have been proven to increase serotonin levels and things like that. So I mean, if you're like, I work inside, I sit in an office all day, I have my window open, so I'm looking outside, you know, so I have natural light making contact with my eyes, which is huge. You know, take my vitamin D, and if you get, you know, exercise, and for the most part try to eat healthy, and for the most part stay away from drugs and alcohol, except for on the occasion, then I think a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people would find significant change in their life.
Yeah. In a spiritual way, you say we're disconnected with nature, pretty much. That's what I would say, which is exactly what you just said.
It's a total like symbiotic relationship,
right?
Though. And I mean, you can, you know, how deeply you want to get into it, you know, that's up to every individual. But you know, it's undeniable that there is a synergy between, you know, man and nature, just like any animal in nature. I mean, this is, you know, we built up civilization around us. We built up all these artificial structures, but you know, we come from nature, and we belong in nature. Which is interesting. So.
Yeah, for sure. We should be eating that stuff. I wanted to say, everyone, you guys heard it here. Messy's sex life has gone up because of vitamin D. Boom.
Amen. That's amazing. One thing I've noticed, guys, like I've got the issues with depression, anxiety, shit. I've had it my whole fucking life. I've had issues with substance abuse, alcohol, and all that shit. I got sober 2 years ago. And what I've noticed is, like, this is the second time I've gotten sober, that just because you get sober, that don't fix the shit. Like, that's like a step one. You got to fix what's happening. But then there's also, like you're saying, there's shit that it don't matter how much, like, working or whatever, figuring out like what your demons and shit are, there's still shit that you can't even fucking help, you know. And it could be things like what you're talking about. And but I will say this: I have not tried vitamin D, and I'm going to try that.
Seriously, get it, and make sure you get it because it is fat soluble. Take it with fat. If you look online, there's some. I mean, it's really cheap too. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to be rich to afford it. Look for it online in combination with like coconut oil or something like that. Something that has fat in it. And there's supplements that have that, like coconut oil plus vitamin D, that help you get the most out of it, that help you absorb it.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, dude, if you take this for 2 or 3 weeks, you'll never know, but I guarantee you, if you went to the doctor right now and you had your blood drawn, he'd probably say, bro, your vitamin D levels are low.
Well, I am a pussy
It's
and I do not like
genetic.
blood or needles, so I will not be getting my blood drawn.
Oh, me either, dude.
Okay.
I don't fuck with needles.
Just talking about it, I'm getting like lightheaded.
Somebody over here passed out.
I actually have O negative blood, so they're always trying to get my holy blood.
Right.
So because they want me to save these lives, and
Right. It's a lot of responsibility.
I stopped giving blood in high school actually, because I used to give blood when the blood truck came to our high school, because I'm like, fuck yeah, like I can get out of class, I didn't do my homework, and I could tell, hey, like I was a teacher, I was saving lives. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Right.
Look at my arm. I've got a big Band-Aid on my arm. Like I'm sorry I wasn't in class. I was the blood truck.
Right.
And I still remember. So I did it a couple times. I always pass out when I get blood, first and foremost.
This one too.
Give me the apple juice, squeeze the ball, whatever you want to do. Like I'm sitting there like, holy shit, there's a needle going in my vein.
I don't want to talk about it.
Are you okay?
No, I feel you. It's making me cringe right now.
Yeah.
But this one lady collapsed a vein in my arm.
All right.
And that's when I stopped.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I was about to say, you want to leave the room.
Do you want me to pass the fuck out right now?
I did a little white man.
Go ahead and tell this. There's 3 good stories with this one. What you want to pick?
Okay, yeah, there's lots of them, but I passed out in Las Vegas with a group of crypto fam people. Wendyo, Kim Bosak, Junior Lancaster was there. A lot of people were there. We were out on the sidewalk. I was on a lot of mushrooms at the time that had nothing to do with it. What it was I was getting nosebleeds from the dry air. So I was getting panicky because I was already gotten a nosebleed, and I actually have passed out because of a fucking nosebleed. That's how much of a pussy I am.
Yeah.
So I was I was starting to get like panicky because everybody was wanting to go out, like get in a car and leave, and I was like, what if I have a fucking nosebleed, right? So I started having like a panic attack, and I fucking slowly. It was the slowest pass out you've ever seen, but I literally started to go like I started to see the stars and shit, and I slowly just laid down right on the sidewalk of fucking Las Vegas. Yeah. And I laid
down and then put his hand out and put his head on his hand.
Like this.
So it was like that wasn't even a pass out. We were all like, wait.
No, but I was like, I didn't do a full. I don't think I ever fully passed out, but I got so fucking close. Like I was like I couldn't like it was getting dark.
No, I know what you mean. Like where your body's functioning, but like you've lost all your vision. You're seeing just little sparkles. Like I know exactly what you're talking
all of a sudden, this like wet spot started showing on it. No. He didn't pee himself.
I'm glad I don't piss myself. That would suck if every time you passed out you pissed yourself.
So bad.
Like you just released all your bowels.
Yeah. Just shit and pissed everywhere. And like
our first child, we're in the delivery room, and all the nurses leave to take him out because he started looking like he was about to faint. Like everyone just leaves my side, and I'm like, wait. Where
did he go?
Let me just say this: I didn't actually pass out. I was like, guys, I think it's about to happen, and they all fucking freaked out and like rushed me out of there. The second child,
you passed out.
I passed out not during the delivery, but in the waiting room before the delivery. They came in to take her blood, and I passed out and hit my head. They rushed me.
He went into the bathroom.
They rushed
and then we hear this boom and a slide down the door, and the nurse was like, "He's fine," and I was like, "He might not be."
And then they take me to the fucking emergency room. I'm like, I'm fine. I just fucking passed out. That's it. Then we get to the doctor or to the actual delivery of the child, and they are literally, and I'm not even fucking kidding.
Shouldn't. Yeah.
They are throwing towels.
It was a C-section, so
towels soaked in blood.
You could hear them hitting
at my feet. And I didn't pass out.
Because you got it out of your system.
Because I got it out of my system.
It was actually good.
I wonder if like the adrenaline too, like in that moment.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was like,
but I can't. Now talking about it, I'm getting like.
That's me too. Here's the thing. I can look at poop and I can look at literally anything all day without being like like disturbed. But if you show me any kind of like gore or blood or anything like that, like I can't.
All right, we gotta change the subject. I seriously.
Okay, you have to show.
I'm getting like lightheaded. All right.
You have to switching into this. We have the funniest story, Messy. I don't think that we saw you after like too much after the first night, so I don't think that you've heard the story yet.
What is it? What are you talking about?
So we did the digital dance party, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that was so much fun.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. I can't even go into how much fun. And then we're riding with a friend afterwards. So we have to go back to his car. All right. So Gucci Gaines. And wait, don't play it yet.
Sorry.
Don't play it yet. Okay. So we Uber back to his car because, it's miles that we walked through Toronto. So we just walked there. Now we've got to get an Uber to go back to his car. And then we're driving to, I don't even know where in the hell we were going to go, but we were going somewhere. So
well, I did the run. So I ran 1.5 miles. Then I did the DDP thing.
Yep.
I
The same
carried
day.
a heavy
It's all
fucking
the same
speaker,
day.
marched for 3 fucking miles.
Fun as hell.
And we're like, it's been a blast. And then we get into the car and this happens.
Are you ready,
Here
Messy?
Here we go.
Ready for this? Okay. Go ahead.
Oh no.
So we were driving and we realized we got a flat, right, guys? Yeah. First Futurist conference, then DDP, then flat. Look at the gas station right there. Hopefully we got a spare.
My tire is not a tire.
Yeah, your tire is not a tire. I like how at first you're like, no, it just needs air. It just needs air. I'm like, no, bro. I hear like flap, 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 flap.
I didn't think it was actually gonna be shredded.
Yeah, I think there's parts of your tire left back there about a mile.
So we're driving down the fucking Toronto like interstate, and I'm hearing like pop, 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 and I don't know
how. Kaj goes, dude, I think you got a flat tire. He goes, no, just needs air. It just needs air. And then, listen, this was serious because that little piece was where we had already exited. We were on the interstate.
For the
we were on the interstate,
on a rim.
And we hear the flapping, and he's like, we just need air. And Yuki's like, no, man, I think that I hear flapping. I think it's shredded. And I'm like, I think your rim is gone. Actually, it was just, but on his sheer will and determination, he's like, I'm getting us to that fucking gas station. And we rolled into the fucking gas station.
Gets on his phone and gets the nearest gas station. It's still far away, but we're on the interstate on a fucking rim going 25, and there's cars woo, woo, getting, and I was nervous, and we go to exit off, and a car's fucking goes around, and the gas station's way off in the distance, and we're like, we're gonna fucking make it. But anyway, that was fun.
I felt like a kid, how you're doing something as a kid, your parents are gonna be so fucking pissed. That's how I felt the whole time. I was like, oh shit, when mom finds out about this.
That was an Infiniti too. I mean, there's a lot of Infinitis have pretty low profile tires and shit. I'm surprised the rim wasn't trashed.
It probably was.
Yeah. So we got the tire. I got the tire, all the fucking lug nuts off, got it jacked up, and he had one of the locking lugs and didn't have the key.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, those locking lugs make me furious.
Oh my god.
So I had to call a fucking tow truck. It was a whole thing.
We're like, dude, we're not going to leave you here. We're waiting, we'll wait, whatever. That sucks that we couldn't get it.
That's where you guys were that night.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait. Okay. That was about that whole thing. It was probably about 2, maybe 1:30 when all that was happening. And we're like, yeah, we'll wait for you. He goes, I just called and it'll be 2 hours till they come. We're like, damn, man, sorry, we gotta go.
Bro. We gotta go. We got a thing tomorrow. Yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
No, but he was like, no, you guys have to leave. You
he
can't
insisted.
Stay here. It's ridiculous.
He was the sweetest. That was the most fun. And I'm like, we're all everyone in that car forever bonded.
Yeah, it was fun. But the whole event was a blast. We had a fucking killer time. I love seeing everyone, and and Tamara and I are just saying this. We get the post conference blues, and they're finally starting to lift a little bit, getting a little bit happier now because we know World CryptoCon's coming. Hopefully we're going to do a run with Euclid there, and hopefully it's going to be affiliated with something tied in with maps somehow. We're going to do a charity thing, so that's going to be real exciting. Really cool. And I guess that's probably a good time to wrap this up. Messiah, you got any shout outs or anything you want to do before we end the show here?
I'll just give a shout out to all the old friends that I met and the new friends that I made. at the conference. It's you know, a lot of crypto people are so nice and kind and welcoming, and it's always just nice to meet like-minded individuals. You know, I mean, I really did have a great time. It was, I mean, everybody was so cool and humble and real, and it was awesome.
So was it worth the plane trip? Would you do another one?
That's actually like extremely debatable, to be honest. I hate flying that much. It would have to be somewhere where like marijuana is legal and like where I can go get super ripped or do something like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, maybe if Hxro starts flying me first class or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You heard it, Gunny.
Yeah.
First class or nothing.
I mean, we need
messy.
messy.
Spoiled bitch.
Yeah.
We need messy at these things because, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I have too much fun.
Yeah. Love it.
I want to also shout out Lolli for sponsoring the episode. You guys know about Lolli. You can go there. You can purchase things and earn Bitcoin back. And they sponsored our trip. They were sponsors along with Coast to Coast Signs and Fomohunt, and Lolli helped get us to Futurist. I want to shout them out and say thank you. But we actually purchased our hotel through Lolli and earned a bunch of Bitcoin back. And I suggest you guys do the same. Go to my website, euclidnoaks.com. I have a link there. You can sign up for Lolli. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Messiah, thank you for coming on the show.
Yep.
You are
late, guys.
No, you are.
I missed the shit show in the beginning.
I had a crazy fucking technical difficulty thing in the beginning with 2 different Hangout invites, and it was a shit show. But anyway,
you did miss the Ask Jonathan Dunsmoor legal questions.
Oh yeah,
which
that was funny.
You
need to watch that.
You'll have to go watch that part. Ship Poster Child had a very important question.
It was inappropriate. I'm just going to say that.
Of course, it's inappropriate. It's shit poster child.
Right. Yeah.
It's all its fault. Look at me in the eyes and tell me that shit poster child is not your alt account.
Dude.
Shit, that would be awesome, but it's not.
Let me just say.
I'm hearing rumors everywhere.
No, let's just say that if I were to be able to pull that off, I am the next level of fucking Twitter.
Next level, dude. Yeah, you're a beautiful mind.
Holy shit!
It might be me though.
I'm gonna fucking flip this on you. Messiah,
plot twist.
Are you ready? You ready to get flipped?
Yeah.
Look me in the eye, Messiah, and tell me you're not Lupe.
Oh shit!
I am not Lupe.
Okay.
I have 3 accounts, and Lupe is not one of them.
Okay. There was a rumor going around that you were, and
no, I don't know where the fuck that started. So here's the whole thing. When I saw Lupe originally, I thought it was hilarious, just because I thought it was serious. I didn't know that picture was a meme. Like I saw the bio, and it was like, I have love for horse. I want to be your friend. And I was like, is this guy fucking serious? Like, you know, like this is pretty funny. So I shouted him out as a joke. I was like, hey, you know, should probably follow this guy. And, you know, in my opinion, like it was hilarious for the first month until like Lupe became like this, whoever it was, like carried on with this shit
They still are.
They still are.
for a year. Like you've got to be a real life psychopath to continue doing that for that long. And I just don't understand how you can keep up the act for that long. I mean,
oh my god,
it's just crazy. One of y'all is Lupe. Who is it? Is it you?
No. Here's the thing. It's got to be someone's alt. It's got to be a very good crypto Twitter personality's alt. It has to be because they
everybody thought it was that crypto Owen Wilson guy's alt.
Everyone thought that. It's not Cal. So
no, I don't think so. I don't think so either. And it's I literally swear my fucking life that's not me. Like, and I wish people would stop saying it's me. Like,
you're like, God damn it. Well, I'm gonna throw another name out there so everyone can go with it.
About that.
I'm like 80% sure it's from Moby Dick. So boom.
Could be from Moby Dick.
That's not a bad theory, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just give it up, Lupe. Just please go away. Just stop. The joke's over. The joke's been over for like a year.
Lupe is love.
Lupe is love, sir. Remember that. Now listen, Messiah, you we could go on for ages, but I want to like do this again sometime. And
you just got fucking done saying you weren't doing live shows. What the hell?
No, I don't know, honey. It's not like our.
Look at this flip flopper over here, Messy.
No.
What do you want, Euclid?
No, it's not that I don't want to do live shows. I don't want to have a fucking schedule where I have to do a fucking live show on this fucking day at this time, and we have fucking guests scheduled, and there's a fucking thing happening, and blah blah blah.
It became work for you, didn't it?
It became work. It became not fun.
Like, you throw out links to people, and you're like, "Hey, stop by at some point." Just kind of open format.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were actually tossing around something fun for Lolli's birthday, which I think would be awesome. So you can help me talk him into this, Messy. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you knew about like when we
don't give it away. It's a good idea, and I'm not saying to Messiah because
Messy is like one of those people. He's gonna go take it.
You're
gonna take
I don't
it, aren't
throw
you,
it
Messy?
out there because then someone else will steal it, and because I might do it one day. So no, don't.
All right.
I'm not worried about you, Messiah. I'm worried about all of our audience.
No,
you guys have my support.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I know. You know, Yuki loves you when you can come up to him at a party and say, "I'm stealing your wife," and he doesn't care. He's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Well,
I believe I didn't bark at you though.
Yeah.
In retrospect, like that's my biggest regret of the entire event. So
well, that's why you have to go to another one.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you at World CryptoCon in Vegas. Is that a possibility?
You could drive, from Alabama.
Fuck no, I don't do that. I don't play that game either. And okay, that's a long way.
Yes.
And when is that? At the end of October?
Yeah, I have an idea.
I'd like to go, but I do have actually 3 weddings that I'm going to in October. One of them I'm actually in. So
I have a great idea. And I'm not saying for World CryptoCon because you might be busy, okay? But I have a great idea that if we go and we can convince you to go to one of these again, we could drive to Alabama to where you are,
pick them up,
and then we can either all drive together, like depending on where it is, or we can fly with you, and Yuki can be the one who is spilling over into your seat.
Yeah,
as long as you hold my hand in the flight, bro.
I will promise to bathe.
Good.
Just for you. Just for you.
You guys are ever in Alabama, though. Seriously, we got a lot of breweries here now. That's kind of the Alabama thing. I know you didn't imbibe, but you guys come hang out. It's cool, and they've got cool little bands.
Yeah,
would love to. Are you South Alabama, North, Middle, what?
Birmingham, Middle.
Birmingham.
Alabama.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that place well. We spend a lot of time driving through there.
I'm from Enterprise, home of the Boll Weevil Monument.
Yeah, Enterprise.
It's like a big deal, really.
Yeah.
It's not far away from where I'm at all.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
We're practically related.
Yeah, you guys are basically related, exactly. Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Oh, right. All right, guys. This has been another fantastic episode of Euclid and Oaks. I want to thank all of the people that popped in. We talked about Futurist a little bit, but we discussed all manner of things. Thank you, Messiah, for hanging out with us till the end.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Yes, and hope to talk to you again soon. I think I'm going to do this show. It's going to be spontaneous. I don't know if we'll have a schedule, whatever. Thanks, everyone, for watching. This has been another episode of Euclid and Oaks. Bye, everybody. Bye, Messiah.
Bye,
thank you.
See you guys.
All right, bye.